Hello dear students, this is Vishal sir from Ikra High School. Today we are going to study chapter 4 Carbon and its compounds from Science Standard 10th NCERT syllabus. Before we read the lesson, let's understand the importance of carbon. As carbon is a unique element in whole of the modern periodic table. It has some possibilities which other element does not. Also, it is found in all the biotic and non-biotic components of the nature. So that's why carbon has its own unique importance. Let's read the lesson further to understand it better. In the last chapter, we came to know many compounds of importance to us. In this chapter, we will study about some more interesting compound and their properties. Also, we shall be learning about carbon, an element which is of immense significance to us in both its elemental form and in the combined form. Now in activity 4.1, you have to categorize the things that you use from the morning in three different classes. Things made from metal, of glass and clay and others. On doing the experiment, you will find that food, clothes, medicine, books or many other things that you listed are all based on this versatile element carbon. In addition, all living structures are carbon based. The amount of carbon present in earth crust and in the atmosphere is quite large. The earth crust has only 0.02% carbon in the form of mineral like carbonate, hydrogen carbonate, coal and petroleum, and the atmosphere has 0.03% of carbon dioxide. So here you can see the presence of carbon in the earth's crust as well as in the atmosphere, which is very little. Still, it is present in all the biotic and non-biotic component of the earth, thus it has its own importance. In spite of this small amount of carbon available in nature, the importance of carbon seems to be immense. Now, the first thing that carbon states is its bonding, the covalent bonding. We have already studied about the ionic bonding in the earlier chapter, but today we are going to study about the covalent bonding. Compounds form in two manners, ionic bond and covalent bond. Ionic bond is a process by which the elements give and take the valence electron to form a compound. It has high melting point and boiling point. It also conducts electricity in solution or in molten state. But what about carbon? Let's study about carbon in detail. Most carbon compounds are poor conductor of electricity. From the data given in table 4.1, you can also observe that the boiling point and the melting point of carbon compound is very less compared to ionic compounds. From that, we can conclude that the forces of attraction between the molecules are not very strong. Since these compounds are largely non-conductor of electricity, we can conclude that the boiling in this compound does not give rise to any ions. In class 9, we learned about the combining capacity of various elements and how it depends on the number of valence electron. Let's study about the carbon configuration. The atomic number of carbon is 6. That means it has 2 electrons in the first shell while the leftover electrons are in the second shell. That means 4. The reactivity of element is explained as their tendency to attain a completely filled outer shell. Elements forming ionic compound achieve this by either gaining or losing electrons from the outermost shell. In the case of carbon, it has 4 electrons in its outermost shell and it needs to gain or lose 4 electrons to attain noble gas configuration. But this seems a little difficult. There are two conditions which explains this. First, if it would gain 4 electrons forming carbon anion, it would be difficult for the nucleus with 6 proton to hold on to 10 electrons. As already carbon has 6 electrons, it adds 4 more electrons, which makes the proton difficult to hold on to this 10 electrons. So this seems a little difficult. In the second section, you may see that if it loses 4 electrons forming cations, it would require a large amount of energy to remove 4 electrons leaving behind carbon cation with 6 proton in its nucleus holding on to just 2 electrons. So here also you can see that if carbon loses 4 electrons, it is not possible for the proton to hold the energy of only 2 electrons. In both the condition, it would create an imbalance in formation of carbon compound. So carbon overcomes this problem by sharing its valence electron. Instead of giving and taking, it shares its valence electron with other atoms of carbon or with atoms of other element. Not only carbon but many other elements also combine in this form. The shared electron belong to the outermost shell of both the atom and lead to both atom attaining the noble gas configuration. Before going on to compounds of carbon, let us look at some simple molecule formed by sharing of valence electron. The simplest molecule formed in this manner is of hydrogen. As we know that the atomic number of hydrogen is 1, the hydrogen has 1 electron in its K shell and it requires one more electron to fill the K shell to become 2. As first shell, 2 electrons makes an octet, just like helium. So, 2 hydrogen atoms share the electron to form a molecule of hydrogen H2. This allows each hydrogen atom to attain the electronic configuration of the nearest noble gas, helium, which has 2 electrons in its K shell. We can depict this by using dots or crosses to represent valence electron. Here in this diagram 4.1, you can see that 2 hydrogen atoms has 1 electrons each. These 2 electrons are shared by a hydrogen molecule forming a stable hydrogen molecule. The shared pair of electron is said to constitute a single covalent bond between 2 hydrogen atoms. A single covalent bond is also represented by a line between 2 atoms. Here you can see in diagram 4.2 H-H. This dash shows the formation of hydrogen molecule by covalent bonding of 1 electron. One line means 1 electron is shared. Also, let's take another example of chlorine atom. The atomic number of chlorine is 17. Its electronic configuration would be 287. That means its valency is 1. It needs 1 electron to complete the outermost shell. So, another chlorine atom satisfies this by sharing 1 electron with it and it becomes Cl2, a diatomic molecule. Let's take the example of oxygen. We see the formation of double bond between 2 oxygen atoms. As its atomic number of oxygen is 8, the outermost orbit contains 6 electrons, which states that it needs 2 more electrons to complete a shell. Thus, atoms of oxygen share 2 electrons with another atom of oxygen to give the structure as shown in figure 4.3. Here you can see the outermost shell contains 6 electrons. It is signified as X. One oxygen atom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 electrons. Another oxygen atom whose outermost shell contains 6 electrons. They both share 2 electrons from each other, forming an octet. So here oxygen shares 2 electrons forming double covalent bond. The 2 electrons contributed by each oxygen atom give rise to 2 shared pairs of electrons. This is said to constitute a double bond between 2 atoms. In the same manner, nitrogen has the atomic number 7. So its electronic configuration would be 2 and 5. It needs 3 more electrons to form an octet. In order to attain an octet, each nitrogen atom in a molecule of nitrogen contributes 3 electrons, giving rise to 3 shared pair of electrons. This is said to constitute a triple bond between the 2 atoms. The electron dot structure of nitrogen and its triple bond can be depicted as in figure 4.4. Let's take an example of a compound methane, as it is widely used as a fuel and a major component of biogas and a compressed natural gas. It is also one of the simplest compound formed by carbon. The formula of methane is CH4. Let's also keep in mind the electronic configuration of carbon and hydrogen. Hydrogen atomic number is 1, while carbon's atomic number is 6. That means in the outermost orbit it has 4 electrons, while hydrogen has 1 electron. So in order to complete the octet for carbon, it needs 4 electrons, while a single hydrogen can only contribute 1 electron. Thus, the carbon forms a compound with 4 different hydrogen sharing 4 electrons with each other, making both of them octet. Hydrogen has valency 1, carbon is a tetravalent because it has 4 valence electron. In order to achieve noble gas configuration, carbon shares this electron with 4 atoms of hydrogen as shown in figure 4.5. Such bonds, which are formed by sharing an electron pair between 2 atoms, are known as covalent bonds. Covalently bonded molecules are seen to have strong bond within the molecule but intermolecular forces are weak. This gives rise to the low melting and boiling point of these elements. Since the electrons are shared between atoms and no charged particles are formed, such covalent bonds are poor conductor of electricity. In diagram 4.5, you can realize that carbon has 4 electrons in the outermost shell. That means it needs 4 other electrons to complete an octet, while hydrogen can only share 1 electron. That means the carbon would need 4 other hydrogen to complete an octet. This diagram shows the electron dot structure for methane, sharing 1 electron of carbon with 1 electron of 4 hydrogen. Thus, the formula would be CH4. Now let's read about versatile nature of carbon. We have seen the formation of covalent bond by sharing of electron in various elements and compound. We have also seen the structure of a single carbon compound, methane. In the beginning of the chapter, we saw how many things we use contain carbon. In fact, we ourselves are made up of carbon compound. The number of carbon compound whose formula are known to chemists was recently estimated to be in millions. These outnumbers by a large margin the compound formed by all the other elements put together. The nature of the covalent bond enable carbon to form large number of compounds. This is really a versatile nature of carbon, that it forms a variety of compounds with every element present in the nature. Also, the number of carbon compounds whose formula the chemists have known still now is said to be in millions, and this already has outnumbered all the other elements put together. Now the two things on which the carbon has this versatile nature are given here. Carbon has a unique ability to form bond with other atom of carbon, giving rise to large molecules. So it forms compound with other elements also, but it has the unique ability to form bond with its own carbon element. This property is called catenation. These compounds may have long chain of carbon, branch chain of carbon, or even carbon arranged in rings. In addition, carbon atom may be linked by single, double or triple bond. Compounds of carbon which are linked by only single bond between the carbon atom are called saturated compounds. Compound of carbon having double or triple bond between their carbon atoms are called unsaturated compound. So in the first paragraph, we saw the tendency of carbon forming covalent bond. Also, the ways in which it can form. It can be a long chain carbon, it can also be a branch chain carbon, or it can also form in rings. Also, it has the carbon formation in single bond, double bond or even triple bond. Thus, the carbon can form compounds in various ways. Also, it can form in saturated as well as unsaturated compound. While carbon has the capacity to form this many types of compound, no other element exhibit the property of catenation to the extent seen in carbon compounds. Silicon form compound with hydrogen which have chain of up to 7 or 8 atoms. But these compounds are very reactive. The carbon-carbon bond is very strong and hence stable. This gives us the large number of compounds with many compound atoms linked to each other. So that was the first point which showed us the importance of carbon formation of compounds in various ways, as well as the other elements have their own limitations, while carbon overcomes all the limitations and forms stable compounds. Now the second point shows the importance of its valency. Since carbon has the valency of 4, it is capable of bonding with 4 other atoms of carbon or atoms of some other monovalent element, just like as we saw in methane. Compound of carbon are formed with oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, chlorine and many other elements, giving rise to compound with specific property which depend on the element other than the carbon present in the molecule. Again, the bond that carbon forms with most other elements are very strong, making this compound exceptionally stable. One reason for the formation of strong bond by carbon is its small size. This enables the nucleus to hold on to shared pair of electrons strongly. The bonds formed by element having bigger atoms are much weaker. So because of the valency 4, carbon has the tendency to form compounds which are exceptionally stable. They bond very strong and become a stable compound. Also, it can form a long chain of stable compound rather than the other elements which form weak chain if they have a long bonding. Now let's study about saturated and unsaturated carbon compounds. We have already seen the structure of methane. Another compound formed between carbon and hydrogen is ethane with a formula C2H6. In order to arrive at the structure of simple carbon compound, the first step is to link the carbon atom together with a single bond. Then use the hydrogen atom to satisfy the remaining valency of carbon. For example, the structure of ethane is arrived in the following step. The first step would be carbon forming a single bond with another carbon atom. So here you can see in the step 1, carbon shares one electron with another carbon atom. Now each carbon is left with three electrons in the outermost shell. So that 3 electrons are shared in step 2 by hydrogen. 3 hydrogen for each carbon atom. 3 valency of each carbon atom remain unsatisfied. So each is bonded to 3 hydrogen atom, giving step 2. The electron dot structure of ethane is shown in figure 4.6c. Here you can see 2 carbon atoms share 1 electrons while the other 3 electrons are shared by 3 hydrogen atoms for each carbon atom. Now let's study the structure of propane, which has the molecular formula C3H8 in a similar manner. You will see that the valency of all the atoms are satisfied by single bond between them. Such carbon compound are called saturated compound. Here you can see carbon atom and the hydrogen have formed a bond by sharing only one electron. These compounds are normally not very reactive. However, another compound of carbon and hydrogen has the formula C2H4 and is called ethene. The electron dot structure for ethene is given in figure 4.7. Here in ethene, you can see carbon forms a bond by sharing 2 electrons, while the 2 left electrons are shared by 2 individual hydrogen atoms. In the same manner, another compound of hydrogen and carbon has the formula ethyne. So here you can see the carbon has formed by sharing 2 electrons. Such compound of carbon having double or triple bond between carbon atom are known as unsaturated carbon compounds, and they are more reactive than the saturated compound. That means if carbon forms a single bond with other carbon atom, it is called a saturated compound, while if it forms double bond or triple bond, you can say it is an unsaturated carbon compound. Unsaturated carbon compounds are more reactive and less stable, while the saturated carbon compounds are less reactive and more stable. The other formation of carbon compounds may be chain, branches and rings. Let's read this in the section. In the earlier section, we mentioned the carbon compound methane, ethane and propane containing respectively 1, 2 and 3 carbon atom. Such chain of carbon atom can contain many more carbon atom. The names and structure of 6 of these are given in table 4.2. Here you can see the number of carbon atom 1. The molecular formula formed with hydrogen makes it methane, and its structure is each at electron of carbon forms or shares with each electron of hydrogen. So individually 4 hydrogen will bond with single atom of compound to form methane. Ethane also you can see the single bonding between 2 carbon atom is there, and the 3 leftover electrons share with 3 individual hydrogen for each carbon atom. Propane would conclude in the same manner with 3 carbon atoms sharing each electron with each other. Butane would be the carbon atom, 4 carbon atoms sharing each electron with each other, while the leftover would be shared by the other carbon atom. Pentane, 5 carbon atom, and hexane, 6 carbon atoms. But let us take another look at the butane. If we make the carbon skeleton with 4 carbon atom, we can see the 2 different possible skeletons are single bond like this, a single chain, while a branch chain. Thus, one carbon shares one electron with one carbon, while the other carbon shares two electrons with other two carbons. So, filling the remaining valencies would be something like this. In the first part, if each carbon shares electron with each other, it would have a configuration something like this. While if it shares carbon like this, one carbon shares one electron with one carbon atom, while the other carbon atom shares two electrons with other two carbon atoms, the structural formula would become something like this. We see that both these structure have the same formula, C4H10. Such compound with identical molecular formula but different structure are called structural isomers. Also, in addition to straight and branch carbon chain, some compound have carbon atom arranged in the form of ring. For example, cyclohexane, which has the formula C6H12. So here you can see 6 carbon atoms arranged in a ring form and they share hydrogen given in the section B. So this is a ring structure. Straight chain, branch chain and cyclic carbon compound all may be saturated or unsaturated. Example, benzene C6H6 has the following structure. Here in benzene you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon, but at alternative place you can see double bond of carbon while the other carbons are connected with each other sharing only one electron. All these carbon compound which contain only carbon and hydrogen are called hydrocarbons. Among these, saturated hydrocarbon are called alkanes. Unsaturated hydrocarbon which contain one or more double bond are called alkenes. Those containing one or more triple bond are called alkynes.